We're told early on in life that when it comes to work, we should pursue our passions. For Crystal Heidel, that's always been books. This Sussex County woman grew up devouring story after story, and it was in elementary school that she got her first taste of writing on her own. Now, after writing her first novel as an adult, she desired to publish it independently. And so she decided to start her own publishing company, Byzantium Sky Press. She's now helped a number of local authors share their stories. And after 10 years, it's truly only chapter 1. For an author like Kathleen Martins, nothing compares to the feeling of holding that published book for the first time.
You know, to have that all come together and then be encased in something that enhances it even more, that there's no way to describe that.
Especially when writing books was a venture the Rehoboth Beach resident waited for her whole life.
After cancer and severe Lyme disease and many years of suffering, I said, I'm going to do what I want to do.
And so she did. And thanks to this woman right here, she got those books published. Crystal Heidel fell in love with literature when she was little.
My mom would take me to the library when I was a kid, and I would sign out like 10 books.
Her passion for writing books ignited in the 5th grade. Fast forward a few years, she wrote her debut novel, Still Life in Blood, and desired to publish it independently.
And I was like, okay, let's do a press. And I wrote down like 10 names, and I narrowed it down, and I was like, Byzantium Sky Press, because like purple sky for me is just one of those most beautiful sunsets.
And so 10 years ago, Byzantium Sky Press was born. She runs the small independent publishing company out of her home in Ellendale. She went full-time in 2021 when word got out about her ingenuity when it comes to cover design.
It just snowballed from there. Everyone was like, oh, who did your cover? And they're like, oh, Crystal did it.
Covers that are so eye-catching, it's obvious she went to school for graphic design. But it's about more than beauty. She's also intentional with each and every design detail so that what's outside matches what's inside.
They say don't judge a book by its cover, but everybody does. So I try to make sure that they're really beautiful covers. I picked Garamond because it's more of like a classy thriller style font. So I did the whole book through that in that font because it is, and it's also a very easy to read font.
As a matter of fact, the cover she designed for Kathleen's book, Wanderlust, won awards. The wartime story pulls on the author's own real-life experiences.
So I lived in Thailand and Indonesia, did work in the jungle as an intercultural consultant. So I had a lot of background on different environments, varied voices. I spoke a couple languages, so I used that to make it colorful, and the dramatic settings where I worked, I had never really thought of them except to try to deal with being in the jungle and whatever, but they became wonderful background settings for a novel.
Author Anne Crown also lives in Rehoboth Beach. She approached Crystal after difficulties with agents.
I sent her the manuscript. I wasn't sure she was going to like it, but she was really excited about it. So that's how it started.
And it ended with the published novel, Evergreen.
I found her to be very patient and resourceful, and of course she's very creative and has good ideas. So I think it worked well for the two of us.
Not only is Crystal quicker than traditional publishers, she also gives authors a say in the final product.
She honors your feelings about your creation. I think that's really important.
Because she cares about what these writers have to say and wants to help them say it even louder.
It's so exciting because I'm getting to help somebody to tell their story, you know? And that's what Byzantium Sky Press is to me, is sharing stories and changing someone's life.
So for me, the most important thing is I'm not going to look to be a millionaire selling my books. It's not my idea. I want to touch people.
Crystal's now writing a sequel to her first novel. It's called Still Life in Ice, and it comes out next year. Whether it's her words or another woman's, the pages are packed with purpose for readers.
I want them to know that they can heal, they can change. And if they can relate to something that I've published, or something that Kathleen has written or I've written, to feel that they can get through whatever's going on in their life, even if it's just my book is an escape for them to feel that they have something. They've escaped into, out of their reality into a fun story.
And the story of this small indie publisher has only just begun. No doubt this one's a page-turner. And an important note is that these women are all thankful for the Rehoboth Beach Writers Guild. That is how they got connected. Crystal also says 2 big goals she has are to have a brick and mortar out of which to operate and hire more people, and to also have a place where authors can come to finalize their writing. And for those interested in perhaps meeting Crystal or getting a copy of her book, she's going to be at Dogfish Head's Pumpkin Ale Festival this Saturday in Milton.